give him lots of love and support? And can we please have some clapping and cheering for Mr. Jerrod Weston!
So, I figured, you know, first thing you got to talk about is Corona. And I was trying to think of something that would be interesting and that other people wouldn't talk about, and I realized that, you know, everybody knows that Corona started in China, and it was because of the exotic animals that they were eating there, and that's actually really a thing. And when you go there, when you go to a lot of restaurants, quite a few restaurants. Has anybody been to China, by the way? No. All right. Appreciate the enthusiasm. Yes. So in China, a lot of the restaurants that you go to have you get to select your live animal that you're going to consume, right? And just like in America, where you go and you get to pick out the crab that you're going to boil to death. You get to choose the out of the display case which critter you're going to condemn. And it starts out fair enough, you know. There's like a chicken, but they get a lot more adorable after that. So then you look and you're like, oh, there's a turtle. And a bunny. And then you're like, oh, look at you. Oh, you're just an adorable one. Do you want to be food? And then you're like, all right, well, I'll take the baby koala. Thanks. So then we came to Turkey, and the food here is quite a bit different. The cool thing about Turks is that Turks are super proud of everything that is Turkish. And so, as expats, what everybody always wants to ask is, do you love the food? Do you love the food? Did you like the food? Do you like what you're eating? And I'm like, yeah, actually, when we first got here, because they don't really have cheese and bread in China, not too much anyway. So we're like cheese bread, and after a while, people are like, yeah, you just got to keep going. You got to keep eating that. And everybody's like, do you like all the Turkish food? I'm like, yeah. But then I realized that the cuisine here is based on only 3 products. It's bread, cheese, and meat. And that's it. And everything else is basically just a variation of those 3 things. And everybody seems to want to get so excited about everything. They're like, yeah, have you tried the taco kekmek? Have you tried like a kebab, which is just meat on a stick? And then even the mezes are basically just sauce for bread. So I would say that maybe the Turks could claim like Nutella as like an extra food group, because people are eating that so much. But I don't even know if that's Turkish. It's probably not, but you guys consume enough of it. But the Turks are so nice. Everybody wants me to learn Turkish, and so right away everybody was saying, hey, to get around in a taxi cab, you need to learn Turkish. You need to learn the word siktir git. And that is really helpful, actually. So then, and I was new, so I was like, oh, I can use that other places too. I'll use that at the supermarket. I'm like, yeah, beer pochette, siktir git. And then I use it like, I got here and I had to go to a job interview, and I'm like, oh, you know what? That was a really nice talk. Thanks, siktir git. And based on these experiences, I figured it was probably a good idea to learn the rest of the language. So I started learning Turkish. I learned, right away I started learning all kinds of stuff. I was like, ooh, the word for doctor is doctor. And hamster is hamster. And pasta.
It's not pasta.
Cake. And then bank is bench. And you're like, oh, I'm gonna be illiterate from now on. The other cool thing about Turkey is that the men, actually, and the women here, everybody here is really attractive and good looking. And the men especially spend a lot
Stop it now.
especially you.
Stop it.
Yeah, you're sexy. The men here really do a good job of keeping them, especially like in Nishantasher. But the men here, they have like you see the coiffeur, they're always full. Everybody's getting their hair trimmed. Everybody's got the masculine beard. Everybody's masculine. They're all manscaped. And then if they're not, they go to the doctor, to the surgeon, and they make themselves Instagrammable, right? Because Turkish men have to be on Instagram and have their picture taken. And I haven't figured out quite why, because everywhere else in the world, dudes are always taking pictures of the women, but here, the women are always taking pictures of the dudes. And they do such a great job of having some kind of like masculine pose where they look like they're brooding and sexy all at the same time. They got some sort of maneuver. Oh, they look hot, and they're like, yeah, get me like this. You can get the background too, just make sure that you get this face because it's sexy. And I realized that Instagram really is a thing here, and when I didn't really use it before, and people are like, what, do you only have like 200 followers? You need to work on that. And I'm like, okay. So then I tried to mimic the Turks, the Turkish men. So I wanted to be handsome too, and so I started trying to do the selfies, but I'm not good at it at all. And so what ended up happening is what happens is that I just end up more like I look like when you click the button on your phone and you switch the camera around and look at yourself. That's basically what my selfies look like. So I'm still at about 200 followers on Instagram. Took my wife to a hammam a while back. I thought it was going to be romantic, but that was. Turns out that's not for couples. They keep the men and the women separate. And when I went in there, I realized it gets super homoerotic. Like you walk in and there's another masculine Turk there, but this guy does not manscape. He is coated in hair, and he is not gentle. And he takes and puts you down on a stone slab, and then he conjures up like one of those lava rocks, and he's like, and I'm like, and then he takes like a bucket of scalding water and splashes it all over you, and you're like, I'm like, when are you gonna stop hurting me? And he goes, go to the oil room, boy. Okay. So then I go in another room, and there's a bigger, hairier Turk in there. And this dude is covered head to toe in lube. And he puts me down on the bank, and I got my head like right there, and he is motivated. He's like, comes around the other side there, and he's like, and that was me and my wife's Valentine's. I'm Jerrod Weston.
Give it up one more time for Jerrod.